Welcome back to Power Cave Training. Today's videos will be called Life Changes. These are changes I'm making to my life. 72 years old, in another month I'll be 73. And if you don't make plans and start setting goals and continue to learn new things, your life ends a lot quicker than if you're active. So the changes I'm making first to my nutrition is I'm going to be fully committed to the carnivore diet. Right now, I've played with it. I've allowed other things in, and I think that I felt the healthiest when I was closest to being perfect on the carnivore diet. So I'm gonna give that a long try here. So that's my first thing I'm gonna follow. And with that will come no sugar in any form. I have sometimes taken a little bit. I've taken a little bit of honey, which has at least some nutritional value, but I'm going to stick with the carnivore diet here, see how it works. And the reason I'm going to do this is because some of the health things I have are starting to be more pronounced as I get older. Years of competition have taken their toll, so I've decided to try to fix the things that are wrong. I do get a stiff neck once in a while, especially if I look one direction for too long. And it takes a long time for me to get over that, so I have to exercise that a lot more. But that's also an inflammation issue, so it's why I'm doing it. All the stuff I have, I feel are inflammation issues. So those are the reasons I'm going to take care of those. So on top of that, I have a foot that bothers me once in a while, and the pad of it. It was real bad a few years ago. It took me a year to heal it. And now it's pretty good, and I've been doing a lot of the stretching and stuff to try to keep it that way. But food also makes a big difference. Whenever I add sugar to my diet, I start feeling terrible. And my skin breaks out. I get a lot more inflammation, nose plugs up, sinuses. So I'm trying to keep that out of my diet the best I can. And the other issue I have is I've got bicep here when I fell shooting baskets and landed on here. I kind of tweaked this, and it hurts the most when I bench press. So I'm going to see if I can heal that while I'm doing this other stuff. So that's another one. My right hand has gotten pretty bad where I'm all swelled up in my finger areas here, and my grip has suffered a little bit. Handshaking really hurts. So it got better since I dropped sugar. I dropped sugar a few days ago, and it started to feel a little bit better. So I'm hoping that's going to be the answer for that. I have tight hips, and I've always had tight hips for some reason because I work one-dimensionally too much with squats and deadlifts, never varieties of side to side and things like that, which I have now added in. My knee acts up once in a while. They get sore. I do exercises and stretching for that, but I still think there's a lot of that's related to diet. So I'm going to try to fix that also. And so those are basically the main things that I have. And then I'm taking time off as far as the lifting goes from the actual power lifts, and that is because I've competed now for 38 years. I've never taken any time off. I did even during COVID, I trained for a meet that was canceled 2 weeks before it happened because of the COVID, but I still trained in that time. So I really never had a year off. I've done well over 100 meets, and it does take a toll on your body, and especially because back when I started, I didn't know as much about exercise. Even 5 or 6 years ago, I didn't know as much about proper form as I do now. So, when you can muscle stuff up, it doesn't mean you're not doing damage because you're strong enough to muscle things up. So I'm going to take some time off from that. What I'm adding is more power cardio, which is sleds, the battle rope, heavy farmer carries, and forearm and wrist exercises. And I do a lot of kettlebells now, a lot more kettlebells than I've done in a long time. Indian clubs, mace bells, and I use bands a lot. I use bands as attachments to a lot of stuff to change the pressure and change the way they work. And then dumbbells, and I have dumbbells now I've got the oversized handles for them, so that makes them difficult, makes a different change on that. I'm doing things like push-ups and ab dolly and ab roller and all that kind of stuff, staying away from traditional bench pressing, deadlifting, and squatting. I do squat sometimes with a safety squat bar, but they're pretty light. Most of them squatting with heavy kettlebells, either goblet squats or clean squats. And a lot of moving when I do the battle rope, or walk 3, squat 3 when I'm outside. So my legs are getting hit a lot more. So I'm going to continue to do that along the way here, and I think that's going to be a big benefit. I already feel better already. My heart, I sweat a lot more doing what I'm doing now than I ever did powerlifting, and my heart pounds, and I know I'm doing getting some good work on my internal part of my body as well as the external, and a lot of the aches and pains start subsiding. Carefully, be careful of this. Whenever you do something new, you have to, especially at my age, you have to ease into it. I have a tendency to go too hard, too fast, and I re-injure stuff, or the old injuries crop up. So I go hard, but I go light to start with, and then as I can add it in, I do. I try not to go backwards if I don't have to. And I try to do a huge variety of exercises, and we're going to start filming a lot of those. I like to film the last set. I think you're going to watch somebody do 5 sets of the same exercises. You're going to get bored to death. So we show the last set we're doing. So we'll be doing that a lot more, and that does take a little bit more time. My therapy is getting better and will continue to get better. But my therapy, I hang upside down in an inversion table. I do foam rolling. I do the ball therapy, rolling on the balls. I have all kinds of devices I use that help. I got the thumper, and I've got little shakers and vibrating tools that help. So I'm going to be doing a lot more of that. I'm going to have at least 2 days set away, totally days for just recovery. I used to work out 5 or 6 days a week. I now, as far as weights, I did it 5 or 6 times a week. Now I do weights 3 to 4 times a week, and I'm adding a lot more walking back into my program. So I'll be doing a lot more 3 to 6 mile walks, and I'll probably do that at least 3 times a week, trying to get I just think walking's so good for you, and I've developed so many good things from walking. So it's been one of the great things that was introduced to my life by Amy when she helped me to do a half marathon with her, and I hated walking up to that point, and now I like it a lot. It's a good way to think and get your mind clear, and just push yourself at whatever rate you can push yourself at. The other part of mine is going to be the mental discipline improvement. So the things I'm avoiding now is negative thoughts. Try to push everything more positive. Negative activities that I don't have to do. There's some you probably have to do, and people. There's some people that just don't want the same kind of a lifestyle I want, and if I interact with too many of those, I get dragged down. It's hard to resist all that. I don't drink anymore, so I don't fit in some areas as much as I used to. So, but that's a good thing, and I feel good about that. I'm going to look for new challenges, and then my other thing is to be more giving and then more grateful for the things I have. I think those are positive things that juice you up and give you a little fire to continue doing stuff. And I love helping people, and especially exercise-wise, it's always fun to show people new things and to show them opportunities to improve themselves or do things right. If you don't matter how much weight you do, if you're doing it wrong, it's not helping you. And the problem with YouTube and TikTok and things like that, Facebook, people post videos of themselves doing cheating, using fake weights, not doing full range of motion, overloading, using equipment that's not very good. So a lot of people film from angles that make it look like they're doing a lot more than they are. And having been a judge, I can tell you that what people see in these films is nothing like what you see on the platform. So, and even if it's a legitimate organization, now I lived in one organization, and even ours is becoming a little bit more lax with the rules, and I would like knees not locked out, especially on sumo deadlifts, they're allowing knees to be bent. Too big of arches on the bench press, very, very short pauses if there's any, and then just the things they allow people to do, butt off the bench, stuff that used to be illegal. And everybody's doing that because they want to get more, they want to have the top lifters in their organization. And the biggest one I see on bench pressing is elbows not locked out. And what I'll do when I'm judging is I like to go in the back room, especially the guys that come up and tell me they can't lock out because of elbow problems. And I'll watch them warming up at 135 and they're straight, and then they get on the platform and they go to here and they take it away from them. And that, to me, that's cheating. If you want to lie about what you're doing, that's fine. If you think you're being a narcissist and cheating on your way to the top makes a difference, most people don't care anyhow. And there's, no matter what record you have, somebody will come along and break it. So, just if you don't do lifting for the right reasons, then, and it's not to be on TikTok or Facebook or anywhere else, I try to promote the lifting that we do by it being a teaching thing for people. So I don't like filming too much of myself, but I'd like to do it so I can see my own mistakes, which you see on film way better than you do in your own head when you're doing stuff. So that helps me by demoing stuff that I can catch my own mistakes and make those better. So that's where we're at. I'm looking forward to get this thing going. I've been on the diet for a few days and I'm feeling better already. I love eating meat and stuff, and I'm pretty going to be a little more strict on carnivore. I'm going to cut my cheese back a little bit, dairy back a little bit, because that tends to inflame me, especially in my sinuses. So we'll cut back on that stuff. I do a lot more eggs and bacon and beef. I love eating beef, and so I do have chicken once in a while, and I do have pork once in a while. So that'll give me a well-rounded diet. We try to get away from eating more than a couple times a day. I do have a protein shake in the morning. So I'm going to cut all the snacking out, which I love to do. And I think that makes it hard to keep weight off. And that's the other thing I'm going to finish with this diet, this nutrition plan, is to lose 25 pounds back off. I gained it back because my skin got wrinkly when I did it the first time, and being a bit vain, I didn't like that. So when I gained it back, not all the wrinkles went away, but a lot of them did. So now I'm going to try to do that slower and get more muscle pump along the way. And I've added a lot of creatine into my diet, so that'll help a little bit too. So I'll keep you informed. I'm trying to do these videos every couple days to tell you what I've been doing on the days before and then the day you're seeing it, what I'm eating. And my supplements I don't go into too much because it's hard to, everybody's needs different kinds of supplements, and they need them in different amounts, and they absorb them different. And if you try to tell people what to do, I just think it's a big liability issue. So that's why I never tell people to do what I do. I show them what I do, and if they want to hire a trainer to show them the right way to do it, or slowly do it to a video, that's fine. But make sure you're not hurting yourself and that you've gotten okay from the doctor to try that kind of activity. So thanks for watching. If you like what you're seeing, hit the subscribe button and like and the notification bell, and we'll see you next time on Power Cave Training.